Open up our hearts to the light of Chanukah, to the world of Chanukah. 56 days coming, 56.
It's dark outside, but it's light in here. Chanukah, Chanukah is here. It's dark outside, but it's light in here. Chanukah, Chanukah is here. It's dark outside, but it's light in here. Chanukah, Chanukah is here. Adonai Yisrael, Lekutei Teffilot. Adonai Yisrael, Lekutei Teffilot.
Gewalt, Samson already has it out. If you want to listen to the rest of the song, if you want to be dancing all night and spinning the dreidel, look in the description below. Now, everybody knows that Israel is getting a precious soul in about 14 hours. That soul is Yoni Strassen. His screen may not be on, but we see right through his screen. Oh my gosh, the holy backgrounds on this Zoom right now. I think I have to get involved. We all know it's the PSS and Yort site this week, so I'm just gonna have some coffee in the background.
Next week.
What?
Next Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh,
so I was looking at Ish Kodesh's. I think they're having like a whole Zach Thursday night. I could be wrong, but anyways, you guys are wondering what's my background. Background's coffee. This is a project for school last semester. Don't ask about it. It's nothing. We're not going to talk about it. But anyways, this is my background. We all know it's Chanukah in 56 days. Moshe is already getting ready for it. Like all of us are. And before we start learning, we just want a little tefillah b'shem Klal Yisrael for all the people who need it, for all the people who are sick, specifically Pizak Reuven ben Yosef Sarah, Miriam Dodi Baschana Yuchel Bracha Bas Yehudis, all of the refuah. So we're talking about Mashiach. We're in the world of Mashiach right now, like we always are, but specifically talking through the lens of Rabbi Nachman, Rabbi Nassan. So there's actually personal prayer. If you guys have it out in front of you, it's Lekutei Teffilot's best. Arouse our righteous Mashiach to receive our prayers and lift them up before you. Let my prayers and those of all your people, Israel, be a double-edged sword in his hand to protect and shield us, to fight those who fight against us, and to champion our cause. He takes pity on the poor and needy and saves the souls of the needy. Take hold of shield and armor and stand up to help me. Gird your sword on your thigh, mighty warrior, your majesty and your splendor. Do it for the sake and not for ours. For even our few good deeds, our charity and our prayers are all from you. For everything is from you, and from your hand we have given to you. Thus it is written, who came before me that I should pay them? So Bezrat Hashem Kavra, we'll leave it off on that note. And again, it's Tefillah Bet and Lekutei Teffilot, and Bezrat Hashem. Now we're going to pivot into a quick halacha, because we all know we need halacha before we could enter the depths, even though the halacha is the depths. Oh my gosh, Chavra, we got a holy brother on right now, a holy brother, Avichai. Welcome to the stream. So it says in Kitzer Shulchan Aruch, Avichai was obviously wondering this the whole day, that you should not dress in extravagant clothing because such a practice brings a person to haughtiness. Nor should you wear tattered or soiled clothing and appear repulsive in the eyes of the people. Rather, you should dress in moderate, clean clothing. A person should even sell the beams of his house in order to buy shoes for his feet. Chevra, interpret that as you will, but now we're going to pivot into Rabbi Nachman. Rabbi Nachman talks about Mashiach and how do we get to Mashiach through peace. And Rabbi Nachman says the following: through the spread of peace, the whole world can be drawn to serve God with one accord. Because when men are at peace with one another, they talk to each other about the true purpose of the world and its vanities. So this is a Gavaldic thing. When people are vulnerable, when there's no walls in between people, and we all know the moon cut your passport story, but I feel like this is directly connected to this peace. When there's no borders, when we're not like a passport border control person all the time, and we just accept a person's blank piece of paper, right? We say, you're a Jewish person, come in my zone, come in my border, I accept you. And Rabbi Nachman might be telling us, once we're able to do that, once people are able to accept that at the end of the day, each Jew has a chilek elokam imam mamish. We just learned in Parshas Bereshis that Hashem breathed in our nostrils a living soul. Right? So once we're able to understand that and be aware of that and go back to the beginning, there will be peace. And not only will there be peace, there'll be authenticity. There'll be realness between us, between conversations with the world. They discuss the realities of life and how, when a person dies, all that remains is whatever he prepared for the world of eternity after death, because neither silver or gold accompany a person after death. We all know this world. We're just trying to be better people. We're just trying to be better people. We're trying to be the best we can be. And at the end of the day, that's going to stick with us. Right? We just learned oh my gosh, mamish, like Hashem is so good. We just learned in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch that we shouldn't dress extravagantly, because the Fendi, I'm going to throw out brands right now, right? The Fendi brands are going to be with us, right, at the end of the day. But the Hollister brands will. No, I'm joking, but Gaval, you get the point, right? You like Avichai is on fire. This is on fire, right? He loves the coffee in the background.
Yeah, come on. I love this. I love it. Bring in more.
Amish, we just have to be good people, and that's what's going to stick with us at the end of the day. None of the layers, none of the extra stuff. When people come to understand, according to Rabbi Nachman, they will abandon their illusions and idols of silver, aspiring only to God and His Torah. Their only aim will be to serve God and seek out the truth. We'll end here. But once a person is able to understand, at the Pitas and Rabbi, as we see Shoshi Fogelman's background, it's so gewalt, right, was all about realness, was all about understanding the totality of a person, accessing the inside of the inside of the inside of a person. Once we're able to have that patience in life, once we're able to accept people and check off their passport or their blank piece of paper and say, come in my borders, you're a Jew, I want to talk to you, I want to go out to coffee with you, I want to learn your story. We can access that inner point. Everything else will be gone. Everything else, it'll just be 4 pairs of eyes or 2 pairs of eyes. Come on, be 2 pairs of eyes just looking at each other, wanting to connecting to something real, tangible, everlasting. So Bezrat Hashem Chavra, we'll continue with part 2, but really we're starting with part 2 and part 1 tomorrow, because it's always beginnings. I was talking with Donnie Sawson, who recently went back to America. We all know he's one of the rabbis in the chat, right? How do we fix our lashon? How do we fix our language to beginnings? Because we love throwing around the word end or last. It's really never the end or last. So if you guys have any idea, then please DM me. Slide in my DMs if you want to. But Chavra, questions, comments, please feel free. I'm going to go strum or act like I know I'm strumming.
Jack, you got to learn guitar, bro. Got to learn.
I've been holding the guitar for a year already, and I still don't know how to play. It's really embarrassing.
It's not embarrassing at all. You know, today I was listening to something, and they did a test, like an exercise in the NBA, and they told one group of NBA players to shoot the ball 1,000 times. They told another group of NBA players to imagine themselves shooting the ball 1,000 times. At the end of this targil, they said to they brought both groups back together, and they had the people who imagined themselves shooting the ball 1,000 times and making it 1,000 times. They brought them back, and they had them shoot 1,000 times. And the percentage of those who imagined it and then shot was higher than those who shot it like by itself. You're holding the guitar Gewalt 1 year and you don't know how to play. It's better than someone who just picks it up and starts playing and doesn't even says like, I'll just strum, whatever. You're imagining, you're saying, one day I'm gonna know. Gewalt.
One day.
It's a hachana, in kedusha lo hachana.
Hachana for Shabbos. The covered Shabbos and playing guitar. Chevra, anyone else, anything to share, anything to add, questions, comments, anything?
Because I was waiting for the
all
Pizetzner to
Torah is
speak.
related.
Jack, I'll just mention very quickly that it is a pleasure to be a part of this group.
Avichai,
Look at this. This is what I call 21st century Judaism.
I just want to dance with you right now. Mamish.
I want to play guitar with you. Can I get my guitar?
Go to Yassi's on SoCal. I'll play guitar.
Next time I'll get my guitar.
Amen.
Uh,
Anyone else? Shoshi, Maya, Tamar, who's mamish guarding all of Am Yisrael. Samson, who's spinning the dreidel, letting on Gimel.
Everyone knows. I was gonna wait to say this because I know everyone here is spilling the deepest secrets whenever they speak first. And that's where I get my thoughts. But when you're talking about Shalom and you're talking about Dani and how you're gonna fix the Dibur, it's all the same inyan. Mashiach is from the lashon of Mesiach, which means the spilling of words. And everyone knows the word Shalom is Shalom. As I thought of it 3 years ago. I was speaking to Rav Yaakov Nagen, if anyone is familiar with who that is. He's a big rabbi in Otniel, famous rabbi. Wrote a lot of books. Just came out with a new book, actually. Not a plug. But and I said to him, like, the word Shalom is made up of the words Sam and Lo, meaning the only way to bring Mashiach and to bring Shalom to the world is to give up, to levater ksat, and give that which is of yourself to someone else. And the same thing is true with Dibur, that when we speak, our speech is, the intention of our speech is so that we can give something that is from us, something that we think we've conquered or we think we've understood, and we return it or we give back to those who we're talking to. At least the intention should be that, like when we're trying to have innovative and progressive speech. And so these two ideas are linked. So how do you start new? You say, Gewalt, I want whatever my next breath, my next speech, my next word, to be a new word, to be a new connection to someone else that I don't know. Say, while I was speaking so terribly last week, this second, it's not going to be the same. Not this week. Forget this week. This second, it's not even going to be even close to how it was last week. Or even close to how it was 10 seconds ago. Even close to how it was 1 second ago. 5 milliseconds ago. Go as small as you want. It doesn't matter. As long as you know that the next word is going to be totally different and totally new. Well.
Amen. Anyone else want to add off of Samson's beautiful words? Zrat Hashem, no pressure. We all know if you stay muted, it's indescribable. We have to learn that Torah again. We got to learn the indescribable Torah again. I feel like it's kedai that we do it, but it's mamash true, right? Everyone's lost for words right now. Besides for Maya.
I wanted to, sorry. When you said something about like, I don't remember exactly what you were saying, something about clothing. My roommate actually walked in, my new roommate, and I have a rack of clothing from my last year that I'm like trying to get rid of because I feel like one thing I'm focusing on now is you. So like having to get rid of your old clothing is the first step in being able to fully accomplish that and feel full with that. So right now it's like a really incredible process that I'm just like seeing happen in front of my eyes. Like I'm having a clothing sale in my house where I'm like, every time I'm just like filling myself with goodness and I just feel incredible. And I know this keeps me very strong and connected. And when you were saying that, it was just ironic when you just talked about clothing. But yeah, clothing's what I'm working on.
Hashem works in wondrous ways. I mean, we all know like the Halacha was connected to the Torah that we learned with Rabbi Nachman. So it's mamish gewalt, and Zrat Hashem, we should really just focus on the Halacha. It's an important one. But beautiful. Anyone else have anything to share before we conclude? I know it's getting late for some chevra. Seder. So chevra, I just want to wish you guys nothing but health, happiness, and success. For the chevra that are just starting up IDC and are in the Herzliya community, we're gonna mamish like fire it up this year. It's gonna be unbelievable. But like Samson said, we just need to be in the now. Mamish is try to be as focused and as present as we can. It's really a bracha of B'Shem Klal Yisrael for everyone. And each moment will be so special. And for Shoshi, of course, are prepping for the pizza since your site. And Samson, 56 days, just always on his mind. And Tamar, just defending Am Yisrael. B'ezrat Hashem, Chaver, we should all be healthy, happy, and successful. And this extends to the rest of Am Yisrael. Be well.